Hello there, lovely folks of YouTube. Ren here. I am getting ready to do a whole lot of stuff in the garden today. It's a nice day out. I think the high is going to be like about 75. It's a little overcast. It's not super windy. It's the perfect day for transplanting, which is basically what I have planned. Bought a whole bunch of plants at the local garden center today. Some stuff I need to replace. But I figured since I'm going to be out here, why don't I give you a little tour for April? So let's do it. So, as usual, you can see there's still a lot of things need to be cleaned up. You know, it's as always a work in progress. But blueberries are chucking along rather nicely. Got some actual verifiable berries here. Raspberries have been weeded. So, what you're seeing there, I'm leaving the violets there as a ground cover because they don't really bother the raspberries much. And raspberries are pretty happy. They're also setting some flowers here too. So, these beds have been cleared out. Nothing's really been planted yet. That's one of my projects for today, is to start seeding some stuff. You can tell which was more recently weeded, the closest one, and which was not recently weeded, that one that's furthest back. So there's going to need to be some reweeding done there when I go in to plant stuff. These trellises here are going to move over to this bed. Because this is where I'm going to plant my tomatoes this year, and that bed over there I'm thinking I'm going to plant broomcorn and some gourds this year. So this last bed over here, this one has mulch on it, which is why it's not quite so weeded. This is where my asparagus is growing. I do have some little bitty teeny tiny asparagus, so it did come back. The strawberries have also done very well, as you can see, as well as this one here. It looks doing. Oh, I got a flower on this one. I didn't even see that before. That's exciting. This one is the native strawberry. So, exciting stuff. You can see, here's my mess. My springtime mess. This is where basically all the branches end up, and you know, the cardboard and the stuff that's going to go in the compost. And of course I have my nettle here back here too, because this is a rather unused corner. I just harvested, do not be deceived by what you see there. That's like half of the nettle I had as of yesterday, because I harvested a bunch of it yesterday and made a really nice nettle spanakopita. It's really good. This is my actual strawberry bed, and you can see there's a bunch of flowers in this one. Apples are blooming. This one is my Arkansas black apple. This one is blooming. This other one had a couple of flowers on it. Not a lot, but there's a couple on there. So this one is the Albemarle pippin. This one's already done. You can see this one is, I mean, there's maybe a flower or two left on there, but for the most part this one is done. This was my pippin, that the nameless pippin. So viburnum's nicely in bloom. These guys are starting to put out some new growth as well. This is the new plant I put in last fall. That is the southern bayberry, Myrica cerifera. I finally remember the name of it. So let's see, some weeding has been done, at least in the sweetgrass. So the sweetgrass has been weeded out, and you can see that's starting to grow in nicely. Man, I know it's kind of blurry when it's farther back. Let's pop in there a little closer. Look at that oak leaf hydrangea. It's gotten really nice, and it's getting ready to bloom for me too. So that's filling in nicely. This Bootlesia here that's next to it, this area has gotten more and more shaded as time has gone on, and the Bootlesia is just not doing as well as it used to when it got full sun. But it can't be helped, and Bootlesia is not Bootlesia. God, Baptisia. This is the name of that plant. Baptisia has a really deep taproot, and they don't like being moved, so it's doomed to its fate, unfortunately. Oh, here's a one. Just noticed this guy's doing pretty good back here. Look at it. I got a little baby sassafras tree back there, hiding amongst my black. Oh, actually, I take it back. I have 2 sassafras trees here. That is 2. So I have 2 sassafras trees. Really cool thing about the sassafras is you'll see it actually makes 3 different types of leaves on one plant. So like right here, there's an oval leaf. And right here, there's a single lobe leaf, a mitten. And then in the middle between the two, little tiny, is a double lobe leaf. So that's a very distinct thing that only the sassafras does. So roses are starting to bloom. After I get my first flush of flowers on these, I'm going to prune these back because like this branch over here is overhanging in a weird way and needs to go back. Same here. Yeah. Peony's getting ready. The big one over here, this is the Festiva Maxima. This one is always put on a really good show for me. There's another peony over here which is underneath this branch of the rose, and that's why this needs to be pruned back. So that one is a pink peony. I haven't seen it bloom in a couple of years. Oh, but it's got a flower bud on it this year, so we'll see that one bloom soon. This is yet another bed that needs weeding, in addition to the herb bed over there. Sad news, I seem to have lost my chamomile. It's just gone. So that's unfortunate. I'll have to get a replacement for that. However, on the plus side, do y'all see this? All of these little, that's all baby Lunaria. Like shit tons of it. So, and also my my wormwood, my God, you can think of Artemisia, that came back. So Rue is doing well. That Bootlasia, the actual Bootlasia, not the Baptisia that I was trying to call a Bootlasia, this is going to need to be pruned back because this is kind of like this half basically. Ugh. This front half is going to need to be pruned off because it's kind of leaning in a weird way, and I want to encourage these sprouts that are kind of growing up straight behind it. So let's see what else. You can see I have some empty pots here. That's one of the things I was planning on replacing. So I lost my hyssop finally. My lavender's gone. I think that little pot had a sage in it. That's gone. But the lovage has come back. The French tarragon has come back. I do have a horseradish in there. This one is kind of struggling, but like it's got flowers on the end. This is a rosemary barbecue, I think his name. It was a big rosemary. So it's got flowers here, and then it's like completely denuded down at the bottom. So I don't know what's going on with that one. But anyway. This is an exciting thing. Oh, getting closer over here. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. This is my Angelica, and I will probably make a video on these this summer sometime in a little bit. So they're doing really great. This is a new one that I got not too long ago. That's an Alchemilla. So Lady's Mantle is the common name on that. Oh, this is a change. I didn't tell y'all about this. I have a fence here with a gate. The gate is open right now, but you can see. Boop. It can close. This is intended to keep my son's dogs out of my pond. Because my son has one dog that's a lab mix, so when they come over, she just makes a beeline right for that pond to just go take a swim, and that's kind of annoying. So we're trying to put the kibosh on that. So lots of stuff coming up here. Some of it is stuff I planted, some of it is stuff I have not. There is a lot of that oh my gosh, agrimony. So much agrimony in here. So I do have, this one's come back, and this one seems to have spread. This is the blue vervain, so that has come back, and it is spreading nicely. It doesn't look like the germander made it through, unfortunately. C'est la vie. And then I have a tansy, like there's one in the back there, and I moved one further up in the front. So comfrey is starting to pop up. There's a lot of valerian in here that is going to need to be pulled because there's too much. I have a couple of hostas, so like there's one here and there's one there. Some of these are just like hostas that just seeded themselves. There's one over there. Like, I'm just kind of letting it ride and see what happens. These guys, all this anemone, You can see they're just finishing up blooming now, but they did really good. So I'm really excited that I put all those in there. And then this guy's doing okay too. This is the woodland geranium. True geranium. Geranium maculatum. This hosta right here, this is a really cute little hosta, but it is getting completely choked out by the hellebores. So that's another thing I'm going to be moving. And then let's take a look at the pond. It's all cleaned up for the spring. There's another valerian here. That one's going to be blooming soon. It's got to go. I saw you. I saw those fish for a second there. It's easier to spot them now that the pond is clean. This is a new plant. This is just about done, but you can see like these flowers are looking pretty good. They're still pretty nice. This is that Pachyra aurea golden ragwort. So that turned out to be a really nice addition right here, and it has spread like wildfire, which is exactly what I wanted. Back here, if we go on my cardboard, this is one I'm excited about. This is my ebb tide rose. I moved it out of that little shady area and over here where it gets a bit more sun, and it seems to be very appreciative because it's about doubled in size over the past year. This is another one I'm really excited about because I thought this plant died. Like you can see, like I covered this whole area over with a bunch of mulch and dead branches and stuff, and now here it is. It just popped up again. This is a Simpsifuga racemosa, black cohosh. So I got that plant last year. I thought it died off, and now it's back again. So exciting stuff. This plant got divided, which is why it looks like it's missing half of it, because it's literally missing half of it. So that was my Hosta plantagenea. I dug up about half of it and I moved it into the front, literally just on the other side of this fence over here, to cover up that ground where I had some vinca before. And now that I've dug it up, you can see where this is spread. That's my lily of the valley, which is also starting to bloom here. Here's another thing. This one is also going to get divided. I'm just going to dig up this front portion here on this one. This is one of my other hostas. This is the Blue Angel hosta. It gets really freaking big. Maybe I'll dig up this portion here. So I'll actually have two pieces here and then leave that portion back there. And then this guy has been doing really good, and he's starting to bloom too. Look at that. That's my sweet woodruff. Yeah. And then pond is, like I said, I finished cleaning it out maybe I think it was last week I cleaned it out. So it's running, it's looking good. It hasn't had a chance to completely fill up with algae yet. That little crevice right there, I got a watercress that I'm going to shove into that spot. So that will be good. The fish like to nibble on it sometimes. I'm okay with that. It's good eating. So. But yeah. And then of course you can see all my ajugas blooming like crazy. I do have one little fern back there. I don't think you can see it. The focus isn't going to focus it. Oh, there it is. So, that was my, that's a bracken fern. I bought that from a company that was really kind of sketch, super sketch. And they gave me these super sketch plants that were literally just wrapped in a freaking wet paper bag. And then they had been shoved in my mailbox and sat there for 2 days, so I wasn't sure that they were going to survive. But they did survive. They're just not doing great, so as expected. So, yep. I think that's about all I'm going to cover. Let me see. What do I have today still? Oh, hey, this is getting ready to bloom too. My elder. Look at that little flower cluster there. That means it's almost time for elderflower cordial. Today is going to be planting some seeds. I got some moonflower that I'm going to plant. I don't know if I'll get to that today because that is probably going to go in that herb bed that I kind of skipped over. Over on this side. Excuse me. I have to apologize. We are in the midst of the pollinating. So moonflower goes over here somewhere. And you can see there's a lot of work to be done in this bed. I got some thyme, I got some sage. I got another Bootlasia. Because I have the one on the one side of the staircase. I used to have two. The one on this side died a couple years ago. And I'm going to try again and replace it and see if I succeed. Fingers crossed. No, I mentioned I got that watercress. I got some lavender, so I can put some lavender both in a pot over there and in the front yard, because that's where I usually have the best success growing it, is in the front. Yeah, and then we'll see if we can move some more of those hostas. That's basically my plan for today. So, lots of fun in the garden, lots of chance to get dirty. But, yeah, lots of things blooming, lots of things ready to go. Oh, I didn't show you my compost here. I've been doing a lot of work on this too. So, spiderweb. So this compost has been turned. This one is completely done. This is all full of new stuff, including a bunch of the stuff I weeded today. That one is in the process of being turned. So I'm literally like forking the stuff out of the top of that and putting a little layer of it in here, because that partially decomposed will help to kind of jumpstart the compost that's in there. And then once that is completely full, all that, the grass cuttings are going to go on the top to kind of help to cover it up and discourage any weed growth on the top, as well as help, you know, form a protective layer to help it keep it from drying out. Oh, and there was one other thing I want to show you. Over here in my cold frame, which also still needs to be cleaned out because I gotta be prepared for my seedlings to come outside soon. But I did find this little guy right here. Whoop, which has not popped yet, but should soon. I always find one of these every year. That one unfortunately was in a really bad spot. It was glued to the screen that I use for sifting compost. But that is my praying mantis egg case. So I've got it protected in my cold frame where it can eat all the little buggies, including hopefully some of the ants that like to trail up my walls and try to come into my kitchen to eat my cat food. So win-win. Anyway, that I think is going to do it for me. So that's all I have for you today. I hope this video finds you well, and I will see you again soon.